Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Test podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we're live on a Saturday morning, ready to give you guys some early morning feedback. The official weapon of the show is
the folding chair
and the unofficial sport,
bullet ball.
And bullet ball, extreme. Feedback. Everything that's in the show notes is what we about to talk about. So emails, voicemails, whatever you guys had to say about what we had to say. Here we go. That's what it is. We also give people a shout out for donating to the show. You can go to the blackouttips.com. On the right hand side of the page, there's like a hey, would you like to donate little button. You can support the show once a month. You can do it one time only. You can do it at any amount. We don't mind. We give you a shout out for even doing so because we just appreciate it so much. So let me pull up that music for y'all because we definitely want to give y'all that shout.
May I have your attention? You are now listening to Charlotte's Own Rod and Karen. We welcome the good folks who tied to the Black Guy Who Tips.
New dinero, new hellos. Let's see who hooked us up this week. Julian N, thank you very much. Dana R, appreciate you. Noel W, Laura E, Bomani Jones, of course, from the Right Time podcast. Pete B, Johanna M, Laura F, Chris from Hawaii, Corey A, aka the Tickler, April G, Tabitha M. That's everybody for this week. Thank you, everyone who signed up to put some money in our pockets. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everybody that signed up for the donations. Oh, and thanks to everybody who's signing up for our Patreon. People are signing up for the Patreon slowly but surely. And we thank you. I put out new episodes for the premium people over there. People are leaving comments. I think we have 28 Patreon subscribers right now. Of course, the sign up is in the show notes. The links are all there. But we got the Gist of Tippers for those of y'all who missed the like, man, I used to just pay $5 to get one bonus episode a week. We got those back. And then of course people that just are like, hey, I want premium, but it's okay if I don't have the archive access. We have that over there for $15. And yeah, so I think we got 28 people that signed up so far. It's a fledgling startup for us, but it's we're gonna slowly build, and we're not gonna give up on Patreon. So you guys keep signing up if you want to. There'll always be more and more stuff over there available for you to listen to.
It will. And for those of you that use like other podcast apparatuses, you can sign up, and then you can take those links and put those links in most, not all, but most other podcast apps, and it'll automatically pop up in that feed in whatever application you use. So if you go, well, I like the app that I'm using, I don't want to quote unquote use a Patreon, you can do that too. Like if some people are going, well, I don't want to lose it. Nope. You can still do that through Patreon.
Yeah, except for Spotify. So I know a lot of people use Spotify, and it won't work with Spotify for a bunch of reasons, but yeah, it works with everything else. All right, let's get into your 5-star reviews. Okay, you leave us reviews if they're 5 stars and they're nice. We read them on the air, and nobody has to get an extra commercial break. We just keep going into the podcast comments. But if I don't get any, then all of a sudden y'all got to listen to whatever your local algorithm has decided that you
whatever
should hear.
The AI overlord decides
maybe
that you should hear.
Maybe the Republicans paid the most this week.
You don't know.
Maybe it's Tesla. I don't know. It's you the one playing games with your ears, not me. Anyway, we got 2 new 5-star reviews.
Let's go.
Top tier from Disco Angelo, who says 5 stars. Your commitment to your podcast and the type of content that you want to put out shows. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is. We definitely, like you said, it's not just that we're putting out content, it's the type of content that we want to put out. And I think, the give and take of that is, you know, maybe it's not the most popular show in the world, but also it's the one that I can put my head on the pillow every night, sleep comfortably, and feel like we did a great job. And it's the one I enjoy doing the most.
Yeah, and also it's one of those things where we've talked about it and we've even said it live on the show. We are not our thing is we are not trying to catch everybody. And we have our like little lane, and if you come and cross our little lane or stream and you like us, cool, and if not, we're fine with that too, because we understand that we are not for everybody.
What's the inflation on the 5 on it? Says it's Otwall 91. Listener since 2015, and this is my very, very late $5 contribution to the best podcast in the world. The only way I can keep up with the news is with the politics till Ryder Karen get mad segment. Also, deeply grateful for the constant reinforcement of how important it is for us to be vigilant and protective of what is real and factual. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I like to live in reality. I really, really do.
Yeah, and I appreciate that because I know it's a particular hang up and stickler for me. It's definitely a thing. I'm sure when I'm a guest on other shows, sometimes when people are guests on here, or even when Karen's talking, it can, to me in my own head, I'm like, this might be annoying, but I have to make sure that we're grounded on things that are actually happening. And when we are alluding to things that may or may not be true,
right,
or we're speculating, that we at least notify, we at least note that in our commentary. It's not that we're human. We all speculate on information we don't have.
Agreed.
And we all have conspiracies and things we believe. But I just think it's so important right now to be acknowledging that, because it seems like, to me, the world, part of the big reason the world is the way it is and it's so messed up, is that people have just been told that it's okay to have like your alternative facts and have like alternative reality, and if you can find enough people that agree with you, that's fine. And to me, I'm like, I demand a higher standard than just that, and it's okay for us to feel that way. We all have things like that, but I just would like for us to at least acknowledge that that's what's happening, rather than to just be like, well, that's what happened, that's how I feel. Who gives a F if it's true or not? All right, let's get into the comments on the episodes. Thank you for the 5-star reviews, everybody. 3143 learn, laugh, love. We got 9 comments on this episode. It was Appia who started us off. I admit Rod is superior to me with tolerating notifications. With me, when an app asks me if they can send me notifications, I ask, are you an email or WhatsApp? No, nice try. Stay silent forever. Yeah, some people could take it, some people can't. It's all good. My therapist found this is a good idea and was even impressed. You can do it. Wow. So maybe it's me who is impressive, but I would never claim such a thing. I don't think it's that impressive. I think a lot of people turn off notifications for apps. I mean, that's nothing to people.
I force them to give me summaries where it's not like pinging me consistently.
Yeah, like, I mean, unless your therapist was impressed by the fact that you know how to turn off the notifications, which, that maybe therapist is not that technologically, whatever. Like, maybe she's like, wow, you can turn off app notifications. I'm just reporting what other educated professionals are saying. In fairness, one, that you're paying. Of course, we have in Germany our right-wing party, the AfD party, the party Elon campaigned for and said was our only hope. If the goal is to back to Nazis' time, for sure. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like, I think a lot of times I look at Germany as like a case of a country that tried to do things, well, I guess was forced to, but whatever. Like, they did things right on the rebuild, which is, we're anti this Nazi bullshit. We're not letting it creep back.
Mm-mm.
And then, in the long form view of history, it's crazy because those people never truly go away, right? So
they just not as vocal. They don't disappear and they don't die.
So you have a political party that, everyone was scared would take power, but I don't know I don't know how realistic that was because I don't live there. Right. So I don't know how much of a threat y'all truly felt you were under and what percentage of the vote they got and all that type of stuff. But just the fact that the mere existence of people that are like, no, the Nazi shit was right, is crazy. And if you look at our history books and you look at the stories we tell about our countries and the narratives, you would think that would be impossible almost. Like if you just look at the stories of what we like know, and then Same way with racism in America. Like, and then we had the Civil Rights Act, and then we elected Barack Obama. We were kicking racist ass the whole time, and it's like, well, then why is Trump back?
Right.
And it's like, well, clearly this is not true. We just tell ourselves a story to make ourselves feel better, but if we're not constantly fighting against this shit, it will rise again.
Mm-hmm.
Abia says that I'm now in peace with my body isn't because society gave me so much confidence and told me that I'm great. In my young formative years, there was always the message that I'm not thin enough. In the 90s, everybody bigger than Kate Moss was more or less considered too fat, and I had suffered from bulimia for some years. Now therapy, self-acceptance, yoga, and getting older gave me lots of peace. No doubt, everybody finds that path on their own. I think a lot of us are seeking that type of path. When I brought up the privilege, though, I wasn't saying it was easy. I was saying, think about how difficult it is for you, because we were talking about asses and, what ass do people think is the best and all this shit. And I'm like, well, white women's asses have this like backing because of Eurocentric beauty standards that people acknowledge throughout the world, that whatever version of body negativity you're experiencing is still a level of privilege compared to some black woman out there who they've decided that her body is, because of a whole bunch of different reasons why her body's fucked up or wrong. Not to mention racism, hireability, desirability, marriage, all this shit. So I'm saying, even in this case, you've had it hard, and that's not even the hardest level of hard. Like,
the hardest level of the game.
Yeah, just like I'm a man. I'm a black man, but like I'm still a man. I still get a lot of male privilege. I embody a lot of stuff. I present straight, meaning like I am straight, but like no one's questioning if I'm straight, so I don't have to deal with a lot of homophobia and stuff. I'm playing this game, and it's difficult, but there are people that got it even harder than me, right? And I feel like that's kind of where we all are. So it's almost like if you were dealing with those struggles that whole time, I know other people was going through it. Nobody's getting out clean, because the lie that they tell us is, a person like Apia, you supposed to have it the easiest. You're supposed to be going through life feeling all the privilege and all the benefits of, what it is to be a woman and white in the world. And it's not true. It's all fucking lie. Like, everybody's going through something. Everybody's dealing with some shit internally, and nobody gets off easy in this whole thing.
Right.
B-Star88 says, so that listener that says Samira pretty much harasses employees that don't have her size is so false. She has never pointed a camera in an employee's face and berated them. So Samira is the woman that it's so ironic because this whole exchange is about to prove my point. But Samira is the woman who called out Cardi B because Cardi B was making jokes about her fans buying up all the 3XL shirts or something. And she was like, y'all fat, ha ha ha. It's just an inside joke. With me and my fans, Cardi B, who is not fat, is like, I'm laughing at y'all being fat, but it's cool because we're all friends and fans here. And I can see how Cardi B would think that. I think she's hyper online and she's always been quote unquote politically incorrect and got pats on the back for any time that she was saying something positive. So like, but I've always had an issue with that, because I think a lot of that comes from lowered expectations of people like Cardi B. Where, like, I always thought it was weird when people would be like, and she knows something about politics. I'm like, what? I don't understand. What is it? Because her accent? You don't think
she's smart?
People know stuff about politics. It's
right.
not like this. Like, it's not like she's exhibiting some level of like political wonkiness where we're like, holy shit. I looked up. She was on CNN doing it. Like, she just was like, not ignorant about politics, and people, oh my god, see, you didn't think people from the Bronx could, or whatever. So okay, cool. So I always thought that was a little overstated, because of course whenever she does eventually say something that people do disagree with politically, it comes down into like a bunch of stereotypes about how we shouldn't be listening in the first place. She's not that smart no more. She just a celebrity. She just chasing clout. Like, so like, maybe don't put all the stock in on the way up. Then you don't have to tear her down on the way out.
Right.
I never put the stock in on the way up, so I don't feel like I need to tear her down because she said some shit that I didn't agree with. It's like, whatever, that's her opinion. Okay,
right.
Cool. All right. So all that to say, Cardi also, has spoken out against like colorism sometimes and this, that, and the other. She's apologized when she's fucked up, blah, blah, blah. So you would think maybe a person calling her out for like, yo, what you said was hurtful to fat people might be a thing that would make her go, okay, you know what? I hear you. I've had people say shit about my body and stuff, and I don't like it. And I appreciate you pulling my coat to that. I'm not going to do it again, and I apologize. But instead, she kind of doubled down and was like, bitch, you need to get over it. It's just a joke or whatever. You know, I'm not apologizing. Okay. Her choice. Y'all decide if you support her or not.
Right.
But I remember saying when this woman was calling her out and then being like, I need to take my own internet break and all this shit, I was like, I don't even know anything about this woman, but I guarantee you there's people who don't like her too.
Right.
And because anybody who gives their opinion, including me and Karen, on all kinds of events, there's a motherfucker out there that don't think you got it right, that just don't agree with you, that think whatever you saying, like whatever you doing, you not doing it the right way. I don't know what the right way is, but it ain't whatever I'm doing.
Right, it ain't whatever I'm doing. Even though they're not willing to do it themselves, I'm not doing it right. Okay.
But I didn't say anything negative about the woman, of course, other than just there's probably a bunch of people that don't like her too, and it's a never ending cycle on the internet. People are always mad about somebody else's shit. It just is what it is. Anyway,
Agreed.
So EVE writes in and goes, yeah, I don't like the way she be doing her shit. And I'm like, okay, you know, I didn't go check it out myself. I just like, if you say so, my point I was making wasn't specifically about this woman. It was just the general
gist of, if you put opinions out there, if you say things, if you're well known, somebody is not gonna like what you say or what you do.
Yeah, it's the economy of the internet, you know. And then also, like, there's also this other thing that happens, especially with these influencers that blow up off these causes. There's always somebody that's not blowing up who's mad that they're blowing up, but then they couch it in like activist speak to be like, no, see, what she did was she didn't understand this thing. And it's like, okay, I just happen to know this, neither here nor there. You have way less followers than her and you talk about the same shit. So are you mad that people aren't watching your shit or not? It's just part of the question that I have. It doesn't mean it's the whole question, but sometimes it be like that.
Yeah, it do.
Anyway, I've been following her for a while now and never seen her do that. Now, she does ask them to come. Their ads in the store say plus size, but the size top at a certain size. Ask if they carry plus size on their website, or ask the managers why the plus sizes are tucked away in the back versus the rest of the clothes that are displayed in the front. I think that listener just doesn't like Samira, want inclusion, and feels like fat people should just be happy with what they got, just like the people in Samira comments harassing her to lose weight, find another, make your own clothes, or just simply want her to shut up because she always complaining. The comments are disgusting. These are a couple links to her videos of what her content actually looks like, so you guys can see what it's about instead of going off of what someone else said. Thank you. I'm not clicking on it. Once again, the point of what I was saying was not specifically about this woman.
Right.
If that is the content that you want to consume, fine. If that's who you support, fine.
Right.
This is not about that here for us. I didn't know this was going to turn into a jury trial for Samira. EVE said, hi, I'm that listener. So EVE responded, I used to follow Samira too and stopped following because of the tactics which I described in my previous comment. I haven't followed her in a very long time, nor seen any of her videos since. Is it possible my recollection isn't accurate? That's possible. It's also possible she has since deleted some of those videos. That's also possible. So yeah, we'll never know if
right.
Maybe that happened a long time ago and then she deleted it. Maybe it never happened and Evie misremembered it. But how you inferred that I want fat people to just shut up and be happy with that, with what they get, is a stretch. That's your own projection. That is so that is key, because this is one of the reasons I don't really follow influencers like this in general. And it's not that I think they're bad people or doing the wrong thing. I just truly think it is a technique that isn't working. I think we've had 15 years or so of social media with people doing this, and I don't think we're seeing progress. I think we're seeing a lot of people's mental health get fucked with by being in the center of the cyclone of internet rage, of people coming at you about your body and fucking you up mentally and talking shit about you, and people that support you as well. But then you just become like a avatar for the fight that's happening, and it's not necessarily about you anymore. It's
right.
It's
about the cause, whatever the cause is for the day.
And while everyone can claim that they're built for the struggle and it's fine, I watch all these people go through a bunch of mental health shit. Just they got to get off the internet, they got to delete their account, they got to take a break. They're crying, they got their own line, and it's okay for other people to absorb that if they want to. I personally, as an empath, I do not like absorbing constant content of people that are either under fire or firing up everybody else. And for those that can and do like that, I have no problem with that. I think everyone has to pick their own a la carte, like what they can handle. I can handle notifications on my phone, Appia can't. We're all built different.
We are.
So all of that to say, when you are in it, which it kind of feels like that first commenter is kind of like in the fray, like you're seeing the comment section, you're seeing her content, you're seeing what she's pushing back on. It does kind of get to a point where anybody that says, yeah, I don't really like the way this person gets down, it becomes so you must think,
because they've been arguing with people.
Right. Now, Evie's written up here many times about many different things. I don't think, and I could be wrong, I don't think there's a reason to take that one comment and go into, so you just want fat people to shut up.
Right.
But that to me becomes the environment of this specific type of influencer who's always in like the struggle or fighting for the struggle. Because there's so many bad faith actors and so many people that say salacious fucked up stuff about them.
Yes, they do.
It's almost like you have to skip the shortcut of good faith, right? You have to skip past like someone saying like, yeah, I don't really like the way they get down. It's not that I'm against her cause, blah, blah, blah. Nah, you against her cause. You really just hate fat people. Like, it just kind of happens. And I'm trying to avoid that in my own life. So I just haven't been, I try not to be up on folks like this, because I know that part of their job making content, and it's unfortunate, but it's true. And it doesn't mean these things don't exist. But part of it is that they always have to be finding something wrong. Now, there's always something wrong somewhere. That doesn't mean that these things don't exist. But like, part of your job is to find what is wrong, exacerbate what is wrong, point the spotlight on what is wrong, and to me, I personally don't get down like that. And it's not just about, I'm a fat person, but it's not just about weight. It's almost anything. Like, I don't follow the pages that are just constantly telling me, look what racist thing happened today.
Nope.
I don't follow the pages, look at this fight. Like, it's just, for me, it's just not a healthy thing. And so that's why I mostly avoid it. But yeah, back to your comment. Sorry. Evie goes to say, but how you inferred that I want fat people to shut up and be happy, that's a stretch. That's your own projection. I also said her cause was righteous, but at the end of the day, she's a content creator. Have some Arby's. That will make you feel better. They have the meats. Now, you do have to realize that a person that constantly pushes Arby's is probably not body positive. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Evie.
That's hilarious.
I started following Samira around B-Star replies. I started following Samira around the end of last year, and from what I've seen her go in the store, she's never shown the employee's face, but always hers when she's not showing the clothes. She always came out sweet and enjoyable. I don't know how long ago you were following her, but maybe she was doing that when you was following her. I say that about my projection because I've seen a lot of hate comes towards her just from the experience how hard it is to find clothes for people who are overweight, even just by her explaining the difference between double, triple XL versus 2XL, 3XT, etc. Different cuts. She was getting harassed. Seeing bigger women, especially black women that are fat, get so much hate online for making content, even if it's not about body image. You see in the comments it's about their weight because fat phobia is so ingrained in society that people don't take it as a big deal. So yeah, I figured since you said she goes in the stores harassing employees and filming them when I myself never seen that, I figured you was one of the ones that just didn't want to hear what she had to say about how this world doesn't appreciate bigger people or their voices. I was in the shower when I was hearing this, though. That's not an excuse, but my fault. And I'll let you keep the Arby's. So you not fucking with Arby's? See, that was a peace offering. But I respect the integrity, B-Star. I also would not have accepted that peace offering. But yeah, I mean, I think that's interesting too, in that even into the behavior that you described, I personally think that that's kind of weird to go into a store and be like, I'm not going to put your face on camera, but I'm going to ask the person behind the desk, even the manager of the store, about the clothes placement and all this stuff. I I personally, as a fat person, as a person that got to go look for the 3X and all that type of shit, I personally feel like that's a weird thing to do. And
because they don't have any control.
And it's good. I guess it's good content, and maybe you're hoping that it embarrasses or puts on notice the bigger, higher ups. But even just that's so intrusive to me, in my opinion, just for me, that's so intrusive to me to pull out my phone and start recording in a store like, yo, person behind the register, what's going on with these clothes? You know what I mean? Because I just know those people don't make the decision or have the power. And there's nothing they're going to be able to say that's going to offset this. They're not even the person I should be talking to,
because they're not the decision makers.
Yeah, like, and more than likely they're going to say something inarticulate or stupid or something I've heard a million times before. They're not going to have the answers the same way that when I worked at McDonald's as a teenager, if someone would have bust in there with a camera phone and be like, how come you guys don't have gluten-free such and such? Okay, I don't know. You know, I guess you're right. Ronald. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm making $7.50 or whatever. So I can see how that, once again, I haven't watched the content, but I can see how people would take that kind of content as like, well, this is not necessarily helping anything. But there's going to be other people that will say it's helping everything. I don't, I don't have the answers. I just know that over the last 15 years of people making this kind of content, I haven't seen this progress. I haven't seen these brands embracing anything. And also, I think, this is my personal dogma, looking for these capitalistic enterprises to have some sort of inclusive, attitude is not going to happen for the most part, because their values are just mostly based off of greed. And so they will include fat people when they think it is profitable or good PR.
Yes.
And then they're going to go right back. And if they do the same thing with every other cause, gay people, black people, it's all fucked.
It's in and out. It's never consistent.
Yeah. These companies aren't people. The people that work at them do not have personal values and stock and stake in them. They're not their names on the front.
Right.
And they never really cared about any of us. And then they know that there's, whether it's their personal hangups or even just their marketing and brand wise, they know the images they want to protect and promote. And I don't think it's a coincidence. And so maybe in that way, I've actually given up on this fight of like, I don't think there's going to be progress. I don't think it's capable of progress. I think we're just going to be mad every single time we walk in the American Eagle. So I just stopped walking in there. EV says it's all good. I agree that fat phobia is indeed prevalent in this society. I've been fat most of my life, and I noticed the difference in how I was treated when I was fat versus when I lost weight. Everyone deserves to be treated with dignity, just like everyone deserves to enjoy a delicious cheddar and roast beef sandwich from Arby's. All right. Arby's getting too much.
Too much promotion today.
EV said, when you were talking about the cart competition in Germany, I think you were trying to quote the bowler who said, "Who do you think you are? I am." That's one of my favorite quotes. Thank you.
I like that white dude. And he did that fist pump.
That is it. That's the one. Sean says, dislocating my arm when teaching preschoolers involved an active learning activity where students were learning verbs by moving their bodies while I demonstrated. I said good night. Everyone jumps on the ground as quick as they can to sleep. And there was a clear plastic folder on the floor that another instructor had left. My left hand landed right on the folder, slid out, and my arm my shoulder dislocated. I finished the activity, excused myself, reset my shoulder in the hallway, and finished class. Okay, fucking Murtaugh or Riggs or whatever the fuck. Don't hit my students unless I'm teaching martial arts, but sometimes they hit each other. The fastest way to teach a feisty, rambunctious class how to say mosquito is to tell them, hey, don't hit each other. If you do, just say mosquito, and then explain what a mosquito is. Instantaneous learning. I don't know what that means because I don't teach kids, but I assume you're right. Sean says, the way that people interact with the internet has changed so much in the last 3 decades. In the 90s, you would go to the university computer lab and they had the fast internet and start downloading one image, write a 10-page paper on the importance of Kuhnian paradigm shifts in modern science in the internet age. Go get a coffee, wait another 5 minutes, and you can finally see the image you started downloading or so long ago.
Right.
Now, if you want a 2-second buffer while streaming a movie in 4K, it's a sign that the internet isn't working properly. That's true. If you do get that, you're like, damn, why is this shit taking too long?
Yes. Yeah, that buffer be killing me. I am her. I'm like, the fuck is this? What is this, a DVD? I get mad.
My students were all born after Y2K and have no idea how fragile the systems were. In addition, we've gone from using no internet citations in research papers to having an URL required for research article citations. AOL showed us that internet could be horrendous cesspool, bringing out the worst humanity, until Elon's Twitter showed it could get so much worse. All right, let's check the comments on YouTube. We have 9 comments there as well. Let's see what we got. Provocative AF says, what up, family? Thanks for another great show. As a matter of fact, thanks for the extra episodes this week. I really didn't do today. When I got the alert about the show, I was happy AF. I poured a couple of shots, puffed my chocolate Thai vape, and watched y'all like St. Louis Cardinals game. Love y'all. Thanks. I fuck with y'all. Salute. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Lee says, y'all never disappoint. Thank you.
Thank you, baby.
Damien says, cue the music. Rod was right. I appreciate your viewpoint on Gavin as someone outside of California. He's not a bad governor. I appreciate his redistricting moves, but he's giving in way too much when it comes to utility companies. And let's not forget Supreme Court case that made homelessness illegal. Yeah, and like, look, man, I'm not pissing on nobody party. Have a good time. And if I'm right, which I don't want to be, but if I'm right, we can come back to this in a second. Because I'm not saying this, I'm saying this is a very fragile, fraught alliance, and that the amount of time that Gavin Newsom needs to capture the attention and the attitude and the imagination of the American progressive, liberal, middle of the road, non-MAGA, all these groups, is August 23rd, 2025. What we are saying is he needs to keep this up until November 2028.
Which is a long time.
Okay. I know y'all feel good today.
Right.
But I've been through this with so many people.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon my cynicism or realism. But I'm going to hold off and just hope that y'all keep the same energy. I have been over here already. Gavin Newsom's joining me. Gavin Newsom's joining Karen. Gavin Newsom's joining the people that listen to this podcast. We've been on this shit. We've been on Team Petty, go to hell, all that type of shit. My reticence for that type of rhetoric is not about if it's right or wrong. I think it's absolutely right. My reticence is twofold. One, will the people who like this continue to support him when he misses a few times?
Right.
We're talking about 4 years, guys. He is going to have some tweets that don't go. He's going to have some moments that don't work. He's going to do some things that's incongruent with Team Petty. He's going to, have to do some machinations within his state.
He's going to have to govern.
Things just happen, and we have always held these things against Democrats. I don't think it's fair that we do it, but we have always, the second they have to do anything that compromise, second they have to actually go govern for people that aren't just the most progressive left-leaning motherfuckers, we start bringing up the what about that? And we haven't seen anybody truly able to survive that and not shed voters and goodwill. So that's number one. Number two, Gavin Newsom himself is not the most consistent person. This is a new thing he is trying for the last month or so. This because he was just on podcasts with white supremacists. So right. we can ignore that if you want to, and maybe that makes me, like I said, I like to stay grounded in reality. I know this don't make me the best person at parties. And I get the rah-rah. But I don't want to be, man, I think Gavin Newsom really figured this thing out. And then 2 months from now, it's like, oh, Steve Bannon's back on my show. We're going to talk about what's really holding America back.
Right.
Hey, we're going to talk about how people we need to get rid of all this trans shit. This trans shit is holding us back. Then we're going to be right back to fuck Gavin Newsom, fuck his, or not even fuck him. It's going to be a lot of people arguing about it. I think he can withstand a lot of this stuff because he is a straight, handsome white man. And y'all are racist. Because the last thing I'll say, and I'll pass it to you, Karen. Mm-hmm. I remember 2015-ish. I remember a person everybody was excited about because they kept that same energy and they were petty and they put people's feet to the fire. And when they went low, this person, they went to hell. And everybody loved it. They said, why the fuck won't that person run for president? Because goddamn, nobody's giving us energy like this. This is what we wanted. This is what we wanted from Obama. And he couldn't give us this level of energy. You know who that person was? Kamala Harris. All those Senate hearings.
Yes, because I'm not trying to be funny. Prior to that, I did not know who that woman was because I'm not from California. So, like you said, periodically they'll do things, and all of a sudden they kind of get national names, and it happens. Barack Obama, like it happens. Like you go, who is that person? Because it's 50 fucking states. You don't know everybody, and so all of a sudden she came on the scene. And I remember them hearings was going across like wildfire. They were spreading. Everybody's like, who is this black woman? Why is she chewing them out? I like her. And I remember that clearly, baby. I like that, and I appreciate her. Right.
Also from California. And at the time, I remember she ran and she lost, in the primaries. Fine, no problem. Trump won. Okay. She runs again, but Biden wins. And she doesn't, I don't even think she came in second. Like,
no, she dropped out.
And the amount of things, many of them untrue, many of them biased, much of it propaganda, the amount of things that were leveled at her that eroded her goodwill as a California progressive who suddenly was a cop, and at best she was supposed to be like this like conservative Democrat, which I don't think was ever true. We've gone into examples on this show of exactly through her history and in detail and why I never bought it. But my point being, what happened to Kamala Harris? Time happened. These are a bunch of wishy-washy nincompoop voters. These motherfuckers don't have a spine or a backbone. They don't have staying power.
Right.
Now, the people I'm talking to that are most turned on and jazzed by Gavin Newsom are people that already felt this way and been waiting for somebody to say, why don't we give this a shot? Let's talk that shit. And so they're like, oh, cool, Gavin Newsom's doing it. Let's go. And so, of course, they're willfully ignoring any misgivings about him right now because they are desperate for somebody to take the mantle. I think of being a straight white man might allow him to survive the slings and arrows of the typical propaganda that has eroded candidates on the left that aren't straight white men, like how Joe Biden was able to survive. I hope that cynical calculus is correct and that 4 years from now, Gavin Newsom has gone through the fire and everyone is still on his side and no one's taking the brakes off and no one's forgotten about Trump and the malfeasance and all this shit, and that we can ride this back. But pardon me if I'm a hold out a little bit. I'm not against him. I'm not rooting against him. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm waiting for you guys to show me that, I don't know, can we even say December of this year, y'all gonna stay on the same Gavin Newsom for president thing? I just need y'all to do it. It's not about me.
Right.
I'll support this man if he's 1 degree better than Trump. So it's definitely not me that needs convincing. It's all of these motherfuckers that's out here that normally don't be for nothing. Oh, I heard she locked up black men. Well, that's not really true, right?
It's not true.
Did you look into it further than that? Cop again. She just a cop. She cop Mala. Okay.
Yeah, I remember all that.
She was your fave a year ago. Now she's the worst. That's how it happens over here on the left. So yeah, I hope that Gavin Newsom is able to survive, and it's not me calling him out personally or nothing like that. I will, if they had an election tonight, I'd vote for him.
Same.
If he was the guy, that's it. It ain't nothing to me. So so I don't feel this need to like go in and go back and forth about it. It's just, I hope these other motherfuckers that do give in to the need to go back and forth until they talk themselves out of a good candidate, I hope they can avoid it. A real Rons says, good evening, guys. It's no surprise that the job statistics had to be updated. Doge crew recklessly fired thousands of workers, then had to rehire many of them. That doesn't even take into account the other regular job losses. Oh yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah. Those numbers are fucked.
Yes, because the numbers probably weren't accurate from the beginning because the people that probably had that information and knew the most accurate information no longer had those jobs.
But also, like, how do you count that?
Right.
Because no, I'm saying, how do you count that? A month ago, they said we fired these people. 3 weeks later, actually, we went and rehired the ones we could get back that would come back.
It would come back.
And what are those? So yeah, those numbers would have to be updated because those numbers the first time were over. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Damien says, honestly, can we petition some? Although honestly, now that I think about it, the numbers have to be updated. But it is interesting the numbers went down because you would think the original numbers would have all the firings, and then the rehirings would make the numbers go like, oh, unemployment is back down. But instead, she was like, unemployment is actually higher. I don't know. I mean, but y'all said it's routine, and I'm not here to push a conspiracy theory.
Right.
I told y'all how I felt about it, and I'll never be able to disprove it, and I'll never be able to prove it. It's out of my mind. It's a routine thing. I just hope that I see what this administration is doing to the people whose job it is to tell the truth and have accountability to the public and transparency.
They be getting them the fuck up out of there.
I do not trust this administration, and yes, I feel bad for these people losing their jobs, but I also wonder what tremendous pressure they are to essentially lie to us, or else they're going to be out of a job. And so I think it's brave when they come out and just lose their jobs because they're telling the truth, but we'll never be able to trust these numbers again with the way Trump hires loyalists and puts them in the office over everything. Damien says, honestly, can we petition someone to get JL to do the White House Correspondents' Dinner when Trump's out of office? Of course, man, I wish.
All right, they'll never have that again while Trump's in office.
Well, I mean, he said when Trump's out of office.
Oh, okay, yes.
But I don't think. Listen, we'll be lucky if JL's not like a judge in that point.
Right.
Like JL might have his own practice at that point. When Trump gets out of office, he's just gonna get further and further into a straight job as
further away from comedy
as life proceeds.
Right, he gonna go over to Canada, and that's gonna be it.
Yeah, you got to get him to come from Canada to do the Correspondents' Dinner.
Yes.
Reactionary, not precautionary, says Dark Namja. My landlord had all his World War II German army memorabilia on his wall, to include pictures of him as fellow soldiers and his medals. This is 1977. I was living in the FRG. He said, excuse me, another good feedback show. Thanks. 5 stars. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
What was the poll? The poll was, do you still have an AOL email account? Yes or no?
No, I could. If I don't even remember it, I hadn't logged it in forever. That motherfucker's lost in the wind.
9% of our audience does have still AOL email accounts. And
Child, don't put that on your resume. Them people is gonna turn AI kick you out like to do black names.
And 91% of you guys do not have it anymore. All right, let's get into a break here for the first time, and we'll come right back and do the next episode if it plays.
If it decides to be friendly, oh shit, it ain't being friendly at all.
What's going on here?
It's like,
hey, the play button is like
no music for you.
We do what we want to do over here. Okay. All right. You ain't never been to Skate Town. I don't know.
And y'all definitely don't want us singing.
Yeah, let me hit this control out. Delete. See if I can. Is my whole computer freezing? What is it? Oh,
ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated. This is just a commercial break. Relax.
This song is hilarious.
This is just a commercial break.
That one's called that song is called Give Me a Break, and it's by Issa Balu.
I like that one. Just a commercial break.
Yep, 26 seconds. We get the exact commercial break, and we're back.
Yes, I know. Corey was looking at the phone, going, "Y'all don't need to sing," because Corey can sing. We can't sing.
Who is Corey?
From Living Color.
Oh,
yeah. I know. He was like, "Please don't sing."
I know. Sorry. Not all of us are gifted enough to
Right?
tour the
Not
globe.
all of us have that beautiful voice of yours. I'm sorry to disappoint.
We can't all do. Oh, shout out to Vern, by the way. It was his birthday yesterday. Vern Reed.
Oh,
Vernon Reed.
happy
So,
belated birthday, baby.
yeah, man. What a blessing to know them and know that they listen to the show and all that cool shit, man. That's like super dope. And I told y'all. I don't know if I said it on the pregame or regular show, but man, if you haven't seen the Living Color Tiny Desk, go watch that.
It is excellent.
It's fucking amazing. I was driving around just listening to it like it was a fucking like a CD in the car.
We were having a ball.
3144, the white man's FOH. 6 comments. Appia says, I'm predicting only a visit from the great, beautiful, and wise aliens. You see, I'm already preparing and trying to get on their good side. Will be the big event that changes everything. People will be afraid of them, not me. I'm hoping for a job in their new shining worldwide administration as some kind of network manager and unite because the differences of the new threat will be bigger than the human differences. You heard it here first. I hear what you're saying. It just reminds me of Rick and Morty when Jerry started working for the alien overlords when they came and took over Earth. He was working for the Intergalactic Federation.
Yes.
And didn't even know what his fucking job was.
Had no idea. We're just getting promotions and didn't know what the hell he was doing.
Sean says, with the Drake lawsuit, I don't see it going anywhere, but a lucky break or Drake just being annoying enough that it could go to settlement, dismissal, however, is most likely scenario. Brandon Collins is great, smart, funny, and creative. I always enjoy to hear him on the pod. Yeah, this episode had Brandon on. It was so fun.
Yeah, I enjoy Brandon.
Shoe Booty says, I bet Will Smith didn't do The Matrix because there was no opportunity for a fun little song for him to do. The movie Wild Wild West sucked, but the song was a bop.
The song was a bop. I ain't gonna lie. I had that motherfucker on repeat at the Wild Wild West. Hey!
Abia says, I'm just making up a Matrix rap in my head, Will Smith style. The Matrix.
That's hilarious.
Oh man, that's funny too, because if you listen to the pregame that we just did, we went in a rabbit hole a little bit, and I was playing like rappers doing freestyles that were old, like older rappers like LL Cool J, Black Thought, Will Smith, to show Justin how the Will Smith freestyle wasn't that good. But Justin doesn't have good musical taste.
He doesn't.
And doesn't really follow a lot of music. So he was actually on like, the Will Smith freestyle wasn't bad. And I was like, oh God, let me just move on topics. But man, that Will Smith freestyle, God, I did not like it. I wanted to. I wanted to because, I'm team like old school rappers that are still showing these young bucks what they got. I like it. But
it was better than that BET Cypher, but still. Was it the Cypher? The ones with
it was the freshman list for Double XL, and we never listened to the whole thing. We heard like one line from every rapper, and it was those lines we heard were mostly terrible.
Okay.
Let's see. Evie says, I also love it when Brandon's on the show. He's so funny. I hope to one day see a Drunk Black History show live. I hate the Jubilee videos as well. I had to block them because they were just rage bait. I think the last one I saw was One Leftist versus 20 MAGA. It was a mess. Yeah, I'm not a fan of them. I'm never going to be a fan. I've accepted that they're a big part of society, that people keep sharing them and they think that they're proving something.
I don't care.
I think what they mostly serve as is one, of course, confirmation bias, right? It's not like no one's mind's being changed, and those conservatives mostly go back and increase their platform. So number one, confirmation bias. But the second thing it represents is what I think is this sort of smoothening of these personalities. So like people you normally would not fuck with or wouldn't want to see in this type of arena, that's a place where that is very much about charisma and likability, and being photogenic and stuff.
Being able to shine.
And so coming in there and dressing, to the nines, or even like a weirdo, to be honest. Some of those people dress like pickup artists, but they know what they're doing at this point, and everyone that comes in the room knows. You'd almost be better off with some sort of ambush where no one knew what they were showing up for, and then a debate broke out. That might give you some more real standards or something. But instead, the conservatives come there, and their point is to be like not broken. Like no matter what new information I hear, I'm going to just disagree. And No matter how stupid you think I look, I'm going to be able to take this same video, go back to my people and be like, see, I didn't even fold. I didn't flinch at all. No matter what they told me, I was like, gay people, not people. And that's going to be a badge of honor. And then for the liberal person, they're going to show it to a person like me who already agrees with them. And I'm supposed to be like, yeah. But like I said, the subconscious subliminal part is not that I agree with you. It's that I now need to kind of like you. I like you. You stood there and you went toe to toe with a bunch of assholes. And of the people, I like you more than those people. So even when I don't fuck with you as a person, I don't think the way you get down is cool. I think you done lied on people. You done been antagonist. I'm supposed to walk out of there and be like, you know what? That person's not that bad. And honestly, that was the thing I saw the most coming out of Amanda Seales thing. People that typically, because no one wants to dislike Amanda Seales.
Right.
But people who've kind of had to accept, like, yeah, she got some ways about her that kind of make, like, her morals and her shit kind of tend to go at a whim based on who she mad at today, or who she fuck with, who she don't want to fuck with today, how she can make this about herself today. And so people had kind of been forced to be, quote unquote, off of Team Amanda. Not saying they don't want her to win, blah, blah, but people have had to accept, like, well, no, that the situation you described with Issa Rae was not what you said it was. And Issa Rae was right to be like, no, you can't just go to your job and call people niggas that don't want to be called niggas and then go to HR and expect me, the fucking person that stars in the show and is a showrunner, to like stop what I'm doing and go to HR and tell them, you better let her call you a nigga. And you the exact kind of person that don't play about shit like that. So like if someone if the shoe was on the other foot, someone wanted to call you something, you would have been, I would be the fucking most evilest person in the world.
Agreed.
So stuff like that, people had to kind of be like, yeah, Amanda might be tripping on this. But now I've seen multiple articles from The Root and other places that are like, why we are being too hard on Amanda Seales. And I said, and that's why you go on Jubilee.
Yes.
Because y'all the same people that wrote about the fuck ups and wrote about when she was wrong and wrote about why. But now I saw shit being like, why do we treat Dr. Umar different from Amanda Seales? And I was like, I don't. Who are the people that treat them different? Because I think a lot of us kind of put them in the same, like, a broken clock. I like when they be right about shit. Love it. But when they be wrong, I'll be like, oh, this sucks, because they're just as adamantly wrong as they are adamantly right about things, So I don't know. It's just, but all I'm seeing is that that's probably the benefit of going on there, is that it puts you in a better light. And it works for everyone involved. Like the conservatives get a better light, but it's just a different group of people as do the liberals. At this point, singer Tamia and Deborah Cox and Alanis Morissette are going to all have to put out albums to restore Canada's honor, because between Aubrey Graham and Tory Lanez, that music scene ain't looking too good. I have an honest question, Ryder Karen, and I am only a casual hip-hop listener, so I know mostly mainstream stuff and mainstream beef. You two would know better than me, but has anyone in the history hip-hop taken a bigger L than Aubrey, in your opinion? Suing someone over losing the rap beef seems like a pretty big one to me.
Because people have taken L's and people have, lost beefs. Some of them very personal over the years.
I honest to God, I think this is the worst one, because, and I'm saying there are rappers who got killed.
Yes.
But we think of them so much more fondly than a guy who's suing, who's asking a record company to produce paternity documents on a rapper's son and daughter.
But somebody turns around and say, you not like us, because ain't nobody else doing this in the rap game. Nobody but you. Like, you are an outlier.
Yeah, right. I and it's just crazy because I think the guys, Mark Phillips and those guys, what are they called? RDC World. The guys at RDC World, they do live streams and stuff. And I think Mark said it the best when he was like, Drake's problem has not been that he lost. It's been that he has not known how to take his loss. That's the big deal. It's like, we've all seen rappers lose beef. Someone loses every beef.
Yeah.
But we've never seen a person crash out where they would not accept that they just took a L.
Would not accept it.
Or just accept public opinion was I lost. Moving on.
And
this dude won't move on.
Right. And there are a lot of rappers that have been around for decades now. Everybody got careers, you know. Some people still rapping, some people not. But
well, Cannabis would disagree, but no, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Right,
Go ahead.
Right. But you know what they didn't do? They didn't sue. They didn't take it to court.
Right.
They like, hey, we putting this on wax, and the public will decide, and that's kind of the end.
There are rappers who kill people over beef.
Yes, they will.
And
I mean, yes, they have.
And that's like a horrible way to handle losing a beef. There are rappers who kill people. And even those rappers did not go out as bad as Drake. That's crazy. Mm-mm. They took a life, sometimes lives, go to prison. And we still don't think of them as bad as we think of what Arbery's doing right now. At least to me, I think right thinking people. I'm sure there's people that are in his camp that agree with him, that are super huge fans, that have bought the lie that they have to believe that someone's taking Drake down because he was such a threat to the game or some stupid shit like that.
Right.
But that's all just sounds like cope. Like that's just copium. So no, I think this is the worst I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Red leaves a comment on our YouTube video. There's a theory that Jubilee is a psyop. Obviously, I don't know if it's true, but at this point, I don't doubt it. Yo, listen. Woo, like I said, I try not to do conspiracies, but nigga, if we found out motherfucking Russia was funding these motherfuckers, I'd be like, yo,
that makes sense.
Get the Young Turks. Like it's a bunch of motherfuckers that, boy, they find out the RT. Anyway,
right.
Ramsey says 5 stars for the replay tippers. Miss Rose says, now wait a minute, I thought that we, the blacks, all thought Pootie Tang was hilarious. Girl, I thought so too until I started talking to people.
Yes. Me and Roger was in the movie theater, and I don't know if it might have been just me and him when we went to go. So I think when we went to go see Pootie Tang, we watched that shit and we laughed the whole goddamn movie from beginning to end. Me and Roger had the time of our life. We laughed going out in the car, come back home. Like, that is one of my favorite movies of all time. Sadate.
Yeah.
Tippy towel, no pitty pow.
Yeah, I like
that's my shit.
Like in the theater, I knew people didn't like it, so I know this not. And I went to a black theater. This was in Fayetteville, and people was walking out in the theater, and I was crying, laughing. I didn't give a fuck about them people.
Me and Roger had a
so I know all the blacks aren't on board, but you know, whatever. I enjoy it.
Yes, I did.
Darth Vakra says, funny thing about the Drake Kendrick beef is that I'm the opposite, where I can no longer really listen to and enjoy Kendrick's music because a lot of bandwagon fans just ruined it for me. I'm pissed as fuck that Kendrick has white people feeling empowered to tell my black ass that I'm not like us whenever they feel slighted. Like, y'all ain't us at all. I have friends who went through struggles like this with the Kendrick blowing up thing. And so I don't want to be disrespectful to them, but I do not understand for the life of me why y'all would let white people occupy that much space in your brain. I'm sorry. They don't get to take Kendrick because they just got onto it.
Right.
I've been here from day 2. I'm a day 2 Kendrick fan, Section 80. I'm not giving up the lyrics I've memorized, the music I love, the understanding I've gained, the amount of love I have for this artist, because some white people also bought tickets to the concert. A goal that he was hopeful to one day achieve, by the way, right? Like he's selling music not to small boutique rooms. He would like to fill up a stadium, and it's a dream come true, and he's been able to do it. Mm-hmm. He deserves it all, as he said. And I'm gonna be here riding today till the wheels fall off. So if anything, if white people are who y'all think they are, right, they'll fall off. They're not gonna beat me. Like, I'm gonna be here the whole time. I'm not waiting for them to leave the concert for me to start attending. I was here already. So That's me. And I also worry about this as a black person that creates content as well. What the fuck y'all gonna do if our podcast does blow up?
Right.
Y'all gonna, I used to like when they was talking this shit, but now white people are hearing it. Well, okay, so you giving white people all the power over my black art? That's crazy. So yeah, I guess you cannot. And then also listening to music is an individual thing. So like I can't imagine I'm listening to Kendrick on my Spotify thinking about, man, but white people be hearing this sometimes. And JL Covan could attest to this. I hate the white people using the Kendrick memes. I hate those memes. Meaning like when I see like the log cabin Republicans or whatever, the Lincoln, I forget what they call it. No, it's not the log cabin Republicans, but whatever the people are that like hate Trump, but they still Republican. They be tweeting out memes like, "Hey Trump, I hear you like him young," and
that's actually hilarious. I'm not gonna lie.
And JL will send them to me, knowing that I'm like, oh, God, roll my eyes. But I'm roll my eyes, not I will never listen to this song again. No, that's also giving white people too much power.
Yes, you is never gonna. I will never give up Kendrick Lamar. He dead. Amen.
Yeah, as long
he
as
dead.
Long as his art isn't catering to them,
right?
Then I don't give a fuck. Black people are cool, and our shit is the best, and that's why everybody wants to be it, and everybody wants to be imitated and be down with it. So no, there's no penalty in my head for white people deciding they like a thing that I have already thought was cool as fuck.
Right, and why do I have to give it up because they entered the room?
Yeah, they just late to the party.
Right.
But yeah, anyway, that's interesting that you allowed that much space to go to them. I would think about that if I was you.
Yeah, because it's it's a lot of artists you would have to give up then, like a whole bunch of artists that have crossed over.
Yeah, Beyonce be having mad white people at her concerts.
Yes, she does.
That was not no black only space, and also the artists aren't trying to make it a black only space, so it's just kind of a weird. I don't know, but I also think the internet is driving us fucking crazy. We should not be seeing this many white people's reactions to the shit. In real life, back in the day, before social media, you would just be like, I like this artist, I'm gonna go to their concert. You're in a stadium, and that's your first time being like, oh, I guess white people like this shit too. And then you go right back to your life. But now, I guess you got motherfuckers doing the like, dances from the Super Bowl memes and shit. So maybe it's fucking people's heads up.
I think so too. And also, I may be projecting, but this sounds like a person that spends a lot of time online, because a lot of times people that have them very strong opinions like that, they spend a lot of time online kind of seeing this thing, and it gives you a false reality that all white people are doing this thing, and most of them are not. They either fuck with Kendrick or they don't, and if they knew, that's fine. And there's some white people that have been fucking with Kendrick since the beginning. So it's one of those things where you can't control art once it's out.
I just wonder where. Actually, I don't wonder where. I don't want to see it. So strike my comment from the record. I was gonna say where they be seeing people that are black that aren't black telling black people they not like us. But honestly, I don't care where that's happening, and wherever it's happening, I bet more than likely it's gonna be some shit I agree with, like some white people telling Byron Donalds they not like us, and I'm gonna be like, I just see Godzilla fighting Mothra, so let them fight. I'm not fitting to come to his fucking honor. So good luck to everybody.
Good luck to you all, baby.
Damien says Karen and Brandon were suffering from guess the race PTSD.
All the way to the end of the damn show.
Drake fall has been epic, and I seriously doubt anyone could have predicted he would totally unravel, filing that garbage lawsuit. TKG says, not gonna lie, that guess the race for the black DJ from Florida got me questioning my race radar.
Am I off?
Jason says, love when Brandon's on the show. He's always has great energy. It's so dope, all of the moves he's making. I gotta give Will Smith a break. I remember in 1999, if your agent comes to you with a movie about the Old West, Giant Spiders, and Selma Hayek, I feel like the only thing I would have heard was Selma Hayek. When do we do the shoot? If you're checking her Instagram, ain't nothing changed. I can't stand that Jubilee stuff, just like I can't stand any of those panel shows on cable news. Here's the thing though about the Will Smith Selma Hayek thing, because she is bad as hell. But he's Will Smith in this 1999, not Jason Jasper, who wrote the comment. Will Smith can get with Selma Hayek. He don't need to do a shitty movie to get with her. Like, that's not some crazy stretch that he's Will fucking Smith. He's like, man, Only way to get in Selma Hayek
is
draws
to do this movie.
is to do the worst movie I've ever read the script of in my life.
Shit, he might not have read it.
Let me get Cisco and make a song without her in the video. At this point, Americans talk too much. I'm too tired of the conversation. The conversation is also a slur to me now. Whenever someone says we need to have a conversation, I'm just like, call them niggas. Just call them niggas.
Hey, agreed.
Yeah. The poll, will Drake win his lawsuit against UMG? Yes or no, or he will win some sort of financial settlement, but it won't go to court, or the suit will be dismissed without him gaining any money off it.
I think the suit is going to be dismissed because like every time you turn around, the requirements get more and more outrageous, more and more shit that you go, yeah, nobody would be willing to do that, and or it's something that's public knowledge that you can literally go find yourself. And that sad says letter that white man wrote. He basically in white man language going, bitch, I ain't giving you a goddamn dime. You need to go on, get out of here.
Shout out to the chat room, Lincoln Project. That's who it was.
That's who they are.
I was like log cabin. I was doing log cabin Republicans. Lincoln was secretly gay, and the Lincoln Project together in my head to be like, is it the log cabin Republicans that don't like Trump but love some Republican bullshit? And which ones is it? My tank. Anyway, the poll, 45% think the suit will be dismissed without him gaining any money off of it, which is essentially him losing money, right? Because they don't have to pay them. 21% think he'll get some sort of financial settlement, but it won't go to court, just so they don't have to go through discovery. 33% people think no, he's gonna just flat out lose that lawsuit. It's gonna go to trial. He's gonna lose. 0% think he will actually win this lawsuit. That's crazy.
That's true. Yeah, and you know what? I think what I said is gonna happen, but I can also, because Drake is the type of person who will not give up. I could see him taking it all the way to trial, losing, and still having to pay them anyway.
Yeah, all that stuff is possible. Everything's possible except him winning that lawsuit, in my opinion.
Oh, he ain't gonna win.
Let's see, episode 3145, the Mulholland and Hunter show. We had 7 comments. Apia says, I like that Rod also thinks ahead when it comes to aliens. Good thinking. I add one more free tip. If aliens ever kidnap you, observe them and try to imitate them with sounds and moves. Make them think you are similar to them. They might find you entertaining and too valuable to be food. Always here for the great suggestions, Apia. I like how she ends her own email with her own review of her own comment. Like, I'm always great and I'm always right. It's your friend Apia. You know I don't miss. See you next time.
House. Yes. And that's hilarious.
Here with the best comments that have ever been commented. It's your girl Apia.
Come on through that confidence.
Yeah, just letting you know. Ramsey D. Jenkins says, the way I hollered when I saw the post about the AI generated blackout test 5 stars, I used Microsoft Copilot and this came up. Copilot, the blackout test is a long-running free comedy talk show hosted by Rod and Karen, a married black couple from the South. The podcast motto is nothing wrong, it's funny, it blends humor with insightful commentary on pop culture, politics, current events, social issues. Well, I guess Copilot was close. Was right. Ronan Raphael says, I have met a Rod Mulholland. He was a star of Spider-Man. Don't get home. He also tried to sell me land in Uganda. He also doesn't tip. Thought he had me by saying he loves middle names too. BB Man 12 says, like Rod said, I hope this redistricting gamble pays off for Newsom. That what isn't being talked about much online is that during the Obama years, we in California voted to change our constitution to put a nonpartisan independent panel in charge of redistricting. So for this plan to work, Newsom needs the state legislature to approve a ballot measure to temporarily suspend the independent panel. Then it would need to be approved by voters, and all of this will have to be done in time for next year's elections.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Good luck. I hope it happens. I just do. At this point, in for a penny, in for a pound, you can't come up halfway with this. You can't be like, we tried, and in March of next year, guys, it's not going to happen.
They're not going to hear that.
We're not going to get those seats. These people who are his newest fans are not designed to deal with any level of disappointment from Democrats specifically. They don't want to deal with any realism from Democrats either. They don't want to be told like, hey, this is a lot harder than what I said it was on Twitter. He'll pay a cost, a hefty cost in support if he cannot deliver on these seats. So I hope he can. And I hope all these other Democratic states do the same. If they could do it in California, they need to start thinking about it everywhere, because Republicans aren't going to stop with Texas. They're going to continue down all the southern states that they have the control of, and they're going to try to get more seats with these horrible redistricting plans. They're going to try to do it everywhere they can. So I think the game is afoot, and we got to do it. So please deliver, Gavin Newsom, please. I'm not rooting against this. I'm not being cynical. I'm not trying to be a not believer. I would like to be able to believe that this is possible and that this is at least a plan. And I think you would get a lot of political willpower, influence, and hope if you could do this. If he can do this, I think you'll see a lot of people that were holding out, that were being, well, what about this, the thing he did this year? What about the homelessness? There'll be a lot of people like, man, fuck it. Let's go. This is what everybody, get like Gavin, will be what everyone's saying. So I hope that's right. Dear Mr. Mulholland and Mrs. Hunter, and Miss Hunter, says Brooklyn Shoebay, I love your podcast. Thank you for taking the bullets for us by following and reporting all the political news you do. I get so mad and stressed just from your segment, so I can't imagine what you go through to just collect the stories. You are appreciated. Collecting the story, it's not that hard. Like, I just save them. Sometimes I won't lie. Sometimes I have to save them to read the details on the air, because you're right. I don't want to read the whole fucking story and then come to air and go
and
through
be
it again.
hot, right?
So and also I think it helps when we start the segment not that mad and then get mad and then be like, fuck it. So I don't want to start the segment like, oh, these motherfuckers today. Like, I want to start it with like, all right, let's see what they did today. Okay, that's bad. That's bad. That's bad. Man, fuck them. You know,
hang up the phone.
All right. I kind of like 50s themed restaurants because I feel like burgers and fries taste better in them. That heightened adrenaline from the possibility of encountering racism makes the food tastier. I mean, that was the secret to Paula Dean's kitchen.
Wouldn't it though?
She was like, listen, you work here now. Okay. You're not a customer no more. Get back there, boy. I will say the place we ate, the food was not banging like that. Now, to me, it wasn't terrible, but it was terrible. Like what you would expect from Wendy's or something, and it cost about the same. So it was like no harm, no foul, but it wasn't like blow your mind shit. It was just a burger and some fries, you know? Greetings, Mr. Mulholland and Miss Hunter. Love your stuff, says EVE. I think being a mayor of any major city is a thankless job, but it seems harder, especially for black mayors, because I think when there are cities with a large black population, they expect the mayor to cater only to their needs instead of serving the entire city. I think that's why there are so many people who don't think Obama did enough for black people. I'm in the Philly area and sure do hate the mayor in Philly now. Some of the criticisms deserved, but some not. But I don't think she's any worse than the last person. Yeah, like I said, there's very few places that typically go up for their mayor, especially a black mayor in black cities, unless that mayor's under fire from like Republicans and racists and shit, and then we'll support that mayor. Like West Holland's doing that now. We're like, he's going through enough that people are like, we got his back in every single way. Because I remember like maybe a couple months ago, he had said something about how he didn't want to fund another one of these like reparation studies, because he was like, we fucking know the problem. Either we're going to give people reparations or we're not.
Right.
These studies are basically a waste of time. People did not care what his reasoning was. It was like, this coon is against reparations. And I was like, what?
Right.
I thought y'all loved, maybe I'm thinking of Wesley Lowry, but either way, it was like, I thought y'all loved him. I thought y'all was fucking with him. Man, nah, man, I don't trust. What's his problem? And so you got to go into the details and fight through it, and all the blogs that are just screen capping the title and being like, thoughts, you got to go through all that. But then white people started attacking him. The GOP started attacking the city. Trump's attack. And then all of a sudden it becomes like, oh, no, we're going to put our arms around him and say, leave him alone. But in general, unless a mayor is going specifically through that, Keisha Lance Bottoms, same thing with Trump, and with the fucking governor of Georgia, whose name I can't. Brian Kemp. Like when Brian Kemp was focused on Atlanta, when Trump's administration was trying to focus on Atlanta and disenfranchise those voters, we have Keisha Lance Bottoms back. But the second she has to start governing and doing stuff in her city, like dealing with crime, dealing with the police, dealing with budgets, dealing with racial issues that pop up, all of a sudden it's like, I don't know if I fuck with this person. And that's kind of just, to me, the way I've always seen it with black mayors. It's kind of a thankless job that maybe you can like graduate out of. I think a lot of black mayors, this is the reason they're always trying to climb up a ladder and get the fuck out.
Right. They was like, I can't stay here.
High risk, very little reward being a mayor, and anything that happens on your watch, it's like you did it. So cops kill a black person, you did that shit.
Right.
You know, you didn't go down there and fucking kill the cop yourself. They did it. Your ass was with the cops, you know. All the apparatuses that the cops had to put on you with their power that they've been granted from budgets and the state, they can make you look bad. They can erode the goodwill. They can turn you into a public enemy, and you got to navigate that. Stuff like that just kind of sucks. So anyway, that's just my very mile high observation. And, you know, individually, I'm sure everyone has a case against their mayor and why they don't fuck with them. But at the same time, I just think it's a very difficult position for a black person to be in, for a black city. That gender war was elite. It's so rare that they almost make me forget it's a skit, but I do think they overplayed their hand a bit when she mentioned him paying all the bills. Still a good one. That was one of the best ones I've ever seen. YouTube, the Mulholland and Hunter show, 10 comments on this one.
Excuse me.
Dark Namja left like 5 comments. 7, what's in the box? So you got that reference. She is probably a government assistant. I don't forget what we was talking about. Fun show. Thanks, 5 stars. Leonard Brothers. Cyber trucks look like Elon's torso. Yeah, I've seen that video. I mean that picture before. Damien says Brandon Scott's response to that voicemail was appropriate and far more elegant than anything I would say. I'm ready to turn that verbal violence physical. Defending yourself, of course. I wouldn't go out on my way to start shit with a low vibration idiot like this. Alicia says, speaking of the other Karen, when you going to invite her on the show? She's been invited. I've sent her emails before. She asked to be invited, and I sent her email immediately that weekend. But she's also extremely fucking busy.
Ain't she busy?
I feel like she was making a plan for a person that's not nearly as busy as she is, but
yes,
maybe I'll re-up that email to her, because it's been months literally since I sent that email, because she was like, when you gonna have me on the show? I was like, tomorrow. When do you want to come on? Like, it's not a
she always
the door is legitimately always open. We probably would do more of an interview to at least the first time she's on the show and just talk to her about life and how, you know, her story and how she got this far and all the stuff she's been accomplishing. Because I think she's so smart, and I would love to pick her brain for all that stuff.
Very smart woman.
But yeah, the invite been sent out. I if anything, thanks for the reminder to remind her that, hey, the door is still open. And that happens sometimes. And that, look, maybe it's my personal hangups. Maybe that's why you need PR people and shit. But
yep, that's a consistent.
Yes, but that is one of my personal things too. Because like Bomani Jones, friend of the show, friend in real life, blah blah blah. There's been times where I've like asked, like, yo, come on the show or whatever, and somehow the ball gets dropped. Never on my end, but the ball gets dropped. I didn't get in my head. I'm like, am I being annoying if I ask again to be like, hey, so remember a month ago I asked you to come on the show and you kind of didn't respond? Like, maybe they didn't respond because they didn't want to go on the show, and now I'm making it fucking awkward that they gotta absolutely tell me no. So I don't know, guys. I'm a human being, and I'm not a pusher. I'm not that kind of person. Right. And I'm cool. And also I'm cool with the idea of like, sometimes people just need to do their own thing. I have people like that in my life where they got their own things, but I wouldn't hop on it necessarily because we're not doing the same shit. And there's lines of like, we need to stay in this lane and all that stuff. So it's nothing personal, but you asked, so that was your answer. She says it was a lot of seriously crazy mofos on this episode. Lord, it was. Jason says, I'm not positive, but I think if you had the Cybertruck, Elon had long turned the corner. You knew what you were supporting. That line of demarcation, that sort of his Jesus is King moment, that gender wars was incredible, but it really was heavily slanted for the dude. Only way it would have been more one-sided if she was talking about his dead mother. Right. Right. Like, who was going to be on her side? That's a very important thing when you make the gender war content, man. People skip over that. But the hardest thing is finding the balance to where people can kind of agree with both of y'all.
Sides, right.
especially if it's along gender lines, that's what really makes it go off, is when people are like, no, I'm a woman and that woman is right. No, I'm a man, that man is right. Now we cooking with grease. Maybe if her mom was sick, they could have brought some balance. That's a good one. That story about the woman who prayed over those bullets was wild. I guess she was like, Jesus, take the steel. And then he said, cue the CSI music, which I have to find it. Here you go, buddy. Thanks, Jason. All right, let's go to another break with another new submission. This one's called TBGWT Jam by Psycho Music.
Psycho.
Music.
Yo, Rod and Karen got the mic in hand. Every segment's fire you can't withstand. Guests roll in like the party parade. Laughter and truth, yeah, the vibe is handmade. Guess the race, take a wild swing. Politics till we mad, it's a whole thing. It's the black guy who tips, don't miss a bit. Ron and Karen keep the joke so quick. They bring the heat, they bring the feels. Real talk, raw laughs, it's the realest deal.
That I don't know why, but that makes me feel like I should be yelling at people with these jokes. You ready to laugh, motherfuckers?
Right.
You better turn up. Episode 3146, Open Marriage Closed Casket. We had 7 comments. All right. Abia says the husband in the sword story has fallen into the sword 50 times. What an unlucky guy, right? Crazy.
Very unlucky.
Who would have thought? Rona Raphael says, I just want to point out that the GOP in California already launched a lawsuit against Newsom's plans. Exactly what I said last week. I was looking at my garden when you read the first Guess the Race story. I was like, it can't be before the true reason for the murder dropped. Then the other stories came along and I thought to myself, this could be the next sequel to the Paravi Karan latest action romance novels. Thank you, Rod. Pre-order your copy now. They'll be ready before George R.R. Martin's 5th Game of Thrones book.
I think they will.
Everything will be ready before that. Tanya W42 says, the last time I was called for jury duty, I went in ready to jury nullify someone out of a bogus drug charge. Instead, I ended up on a sex trafficking case, and the defendant was so guilty. Damn. But it did really change my perspective on jury duty. I don't feel that it's a drag anymore. I'm willing to do my civic duty. Also, when you covered the Jamie Lee Curtis boob story, I remember back when the NC-17 rating was first rolled out, there was a satirical article somewhere proposing additional ratings, and one of them was the JLC-N, which stood for Jamie Lee Curtis Appears Naked.
That's hilarious.
Shoe Booty says, rapping recipes is a thing, and I follow the rapping chef on TikTok. Okay. I figured somebody already beat me to it. Jawan said, but the thing is, does the rapping chef do a bunch of like preambles, like, you know, this is a recipe my mother used to make on a
or it's just straight the recipes?
Yeah, I need to know. This has been in my ancestry for 30 generations, and when we came over from the Mesopotamia
on the Mayflower.
Yeah. Jawan says, while I've never been in a building the cars crashed into while I was in it, I've had the misfortune of being on a bus while a car ran into it. I happened to be on the phone that morning with my girlfriend at the time. It was a typical morning, rush hour traffic here in Pittsburgh. The bus had the light, but was in the middle of the intersection. I could see this car not slowing down. I had the presence of mind to say out loud, I gotta go. This car is going to run into this bus. So that's so that all of us could brace for the impact. The driver was fine. The car was total, and I had to walk the rest of the way to work. So now I was late. Damn.
Right?
Yeah, at least you were able to see it before it happened, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Oh, shit. I didn't do the poll for the last episode. Restaurants based on the 1950s in America, yes or no? 53% say no, 47% say yes. Okay. Sean says,
that's hilarious.
I have not been in a restaurant when a car hit it, but I was in a restaurant that was hit by 2 tornadoes within a half hour of me leaving.
You left just in time.
EVE says, I keep seeing that video of the influencers who were eating when the car crashes to the restaurant. I wonder if they still got a bill for their food. Yeah, I do wonder how that works. You got to go to the hospital, or they like, okay, but the check, there's just a matter of the check, sir.
Yeah, we know you cut up with glass, but we still need to settle this.
I'm on a stretcher. Yeah, I hear that, but I can't stretch these profits. So that's
hilarious.
I need you to YouTube. Dark Namda says federal Congress members can earn a significantly higher salary than most state legislators. Members of U.S. Congress, including representatives and senators, earn a base pay of $174,000 per year. The Speaker of the House and party leaders in both the House and Senate earn higher salaries. In contrast, state legislature salaries vary widely, with some earning a full-time salaries and others being paid on a per diem basis or receiving no salary at all, according to the fiscal note and quorum. I think that was about me saying that a lot of the Congress people, state Congress people who left Texas are not rich people that are making, like, a lot of them aren't making a lot of money off of that. So I'm not sure if that information was qualifying that or not. But I appreciate the background information. But I think at least I read that these states Congress people are not making that much. Dark Ninja says fun show, thanks. Damien says Chris Pratt could have done us all a favor with his continued silence. None of the RFK Jr. family members are supporting him, including Pratt's wife. Yeah, I didn't even know that part. Yeah, that's even weirder. If Pratt's wife isn't supporting RFK Jr., then I think that is weird, because that was the only excuse I thought was possible. I saw people saying that online, like, well, I mean, he's married to, like, RFK Jr.'s, like, niece or some shit, so maybe he just feels like, I don't want the smoke at home. But if she's like, man, I'm not supporting that dude, then I gotta say he's a weirdo for going on Bill Maher supporting that bullshit. That's weird.
This is one time where I feel like you literally could have said nothing.
Most importantly, though, the double standard, because, like, especially for Bill Maher, but I'd say most conservatives and most, whatever the middle of the road is considered these days, moderates, they are extremely critical of Democrats in power.
Yes, they are.
Extremely critical. If they get anything wrong, it's because they didn't want to get it right. It's never just like they had great intentions, but it didn't work out. They didn't do whatever was supposed to happen to get it done. We don't get Medicare for all. That's because Obama fucked up. It's not because Obama had some unfortunate situation with some blue dog them. He didn't want it bad enough. He could have got it if he wanted it. RFK Jr., this motherfucker is in charge of funding for vaccines, and he's cutting it all off. Yes, he's firing scientists, which I thought Bill Maher was a fan of science as a fucking atheist, but apparently he's more of a fan of being friends with RFK Jr., because when it comes to RFK Jr., suddenly it's bless your heart. Oh, bless his heart. He's trying. You know what I really admire is that he'll never change his mind no matter how much new information is presented with him. That's what you admire, you stupid motherfucker, you coward. That's what you admire? You admire that a motherfucker is wrong and just gonna be wrong until the wheels fall off because you're buddies, because y'all smoked a bowl together or some bullshit? That is crazy. You would never say that. When Michelle Obama wanted these little kids to be a little healthier and to take some of this bullshit,
they lost their motherfucking minds, didn't they?
She didn't do it the right way. This man is giving you a much worse, ghetto, haphazard, non-scientific ass plan based on some shit he read off the Daily Mail, and you guys are like, well, his heart's in the right place. That's what I mean. He's a good guy if you've ever sat in a room with him. Fuck you. Just Tawny says Karen starts an epic rant where she basically says people need to take responsibility for their actions and the things they said, wasting time arguing online with people. You are accountable. Not voting, you are accountable. It reminds me of a tweet I saw that made me think of you both. Far right will vote for a candidate if they like one position. Far left will only vote for a candidate if they agree with all their positions, which is why we all now live in Republican hellscape. From J Rabbit Music. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thanks, y'all, for always helping us Democrats hold ourselves accountable for what we say by focusing on the bigger picture so that we can stop self-sabotaging our own people. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. Alicia says, that's actually a good idea, Rod. They go viral, especially for old people that like to cook like us, as long as they're really spitting, or a rap version of Cooking with Kaya or whatever her name is. Yeah, we need some old school rappers. Although, like I said, I think if I did it, I would make the recipe 5 minutes long. 4 minutes is me rapping about nothing that has to do with the recipe. And then the last minute is the beat playing, and then that's me telling you just actually the recipe. Like, okay, you want to get
the other 4 minutes say the background to the recipe?
Yeah, and then the last minute is like, all right, so you want to put your pan on medium high. It's gonna sound like ad libs, but it's gonna actually be the recipe, like medium high, uh, or your pan. Jason said
350 degrees.
Right. Jason says, man, when you read that story about the dude who killed his wife for stealing his vegetables and pots and pans, my first thought was, damn, these tariffs are wreaking havoc. I slightly differ on the Gavin Newsom situation. I don't think there is any risk at all for him or any Democrats at this point. The greater risk is if he didn't try to retaliate with his own gerrymandering. Best case, they get seats and he's a hero. Worst case, they don't get the seats. He goes back to being the dude who had Bannon on his pod just like 3 weeks ago. We do disagree.
Yeah, we 100% disagree.
I think you underestimate the floor. There's a floor beneath you had Bannon on your podcast 3 weeks ago. And motherfuckers don't want to believe the fat meat greasy till they fucking with it. It's sad because it shouldn't be this way. I think me and you are reasonable. To me, he would just go back to that and I'd be like, that's fine. He tried.
If people were reasonable, yes.
I'm fine. I don't find these people that we're talking about who are like getting boners for him. I don't find those people to be reasonable. I find them to be so emotionally governed that they actually like they're getting too high on him now so that when they get low on him later, it'll be like fuck him instead of a like general like I wasn't that high on him and I wasn't that low on him. Right. And if he can somehow make it through the gamut and become the presidential candidate, I will vote for him. That's where I am, and that's where I always stay.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a penalty that Democrats unfortunately pay for trying and not being able to succeed. It's just what I said about Obamacare. Is it fair that we got Obamacare, which is amazing for this country? And there are still many people on the left who are like, fuck Obama. He didn't want it hard enough. We should have got Medicaid for all. Bernie Sanders would have got Medicaid for all, even with them same numbers somehow.
Right.
He just would have wanted it better and it would have happened. And they hold that. It has been 17 years. And they still talking shit about this man. About this. So yeah, Democrats pay a higher cost for putting a goal out there, trying to achieve it and failing it, than never trying at all. And it's fucking sad. It shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, and the thing is, I do agree that Democrats always pay the ultimate penalty, not from the people that are like kind of like me and Roger, like Democrats for life, like and the thing is, for us, we're like, if it's a Democrat, I'm going to vote for it because there's no way I'm voting for the other side. But you have a swath of people, and people underestimate this swath of people that are out there, particularly online, who are just all over the place. Your candidate got to be perfect. They better do it right. If they make a promise, they better come through with it. Oh, I'm going to fall out. Like, those people are quote unquote real. And those people, some vote, but a lot of them don't vote. Majority of them don't vote. And so that's frustrating to me. And the same thing happened to Kamala. When Kamala had that condensed period of time, she was out here on the trail, saying what she was going to do, doing things, Joe Biden saying they doing things, doing the best they could, but whatever they did, it was never enough. It was it was all a bust. And I think I'm to the point where my patience has ran out 100% with those people. I don't have time. You want a perfect candidate? Bitch, you ain't gonna get one. So my patience and my dealing and talking with those people, I don't have any faith in those people because like Roger said, those people will prop you up, and the second you don't accomplish it, they let you down. Talk to AOC seen the same thing when she first came on the scene. She was online, everybody loved her and praised her, talking about how she was the best and greatest. Same thing happened. I had fucking sassy online and shit like that, and the second she had the goddamn government, and the second she had to tell them people, hey y'all, I'm trying to do my job, they fucking turned on her.
Yep, I agree. And I don't think, like I said, I wish, I don't want it to be this way. So it's not like a brag or like you don't know what you're talking about, Jason. I would like a world where it's like what you said, but I think the penalty of going back is much harsher for people. Now, maybe he's straight white dude, maybe it won't be that bad. But I just think a lot of these people will turn in. I mean, because we thought the same thing about Beto O'Rourke. And then they just fucking got him up out of here. Like, he failed at delivering Texas. He will never be a presidential candidate again. And he was the young, talk shit, curse, enthusiastic white guy who could speak Spanish from Texas. He was going to deliver us Texas for the first time. And the failure of what he did sticks to him today. It's like, this is not a fair game. He says game 7 and the Dems are down by like 20. We got to put Shaq or Dwight on the free throw line the whole second half. Who cares what the lefty internet says? Oh, and no disagreement. Who cares what the lefty internet says? Gavin Newsom. Who do you think these tweets are for? It's not for me.
Yeah, everything.
So
he does
this is his strategy. He is banking
them.
on these people being real. He is banking on these people who he is placating internet to a point where he is banking on these people showing up or changing minds or being galvanized to go to the polls. That is what you're watching. That's his strategy. So he cares. Oh, and no disagreement on Jamie Lee Curtis' part. I don't know what ratings the movie is getting, but there ain't nothing rotten about those tomatoes. Hilarious.
At all, baby.
The poll, has a car ever crashed to a building where you were inside? 5% yes.
Wow.
90% no, and 5% I was the one driving the car.
Oh
no. Okay, maybe that 5% counts. Maybe
the same 5%. They met each other.
Yeah. All right, let's go into another one, another break, and we'll come right back. All right. Union info. Linda says, hi Rod, an episode I just listened to, you were talking about exactly what the Teamsters are, and I thought I'd chime in with some union facts to him because I'm a union organizer.
Okay.
There are several different international union organizations that traditionally were each focused on a specific trade or profession, but some, like the Teamsters, eventually started to take on different additional professions. They started out as truckers, but have also unionized other professions. But they're far from the only one, just one of the larger ones. United Auto Workers is also another large union that started with automotive factories, but now has been expanding to other industries like grocery, retail, and academic workers.
Ooh.
As more and more industries are unionizing, many new local unions choose to join an existing international like Teamsters, UAW, IATSE, SAG-AFTRA, IAM. Often regardless of the original scope and focus of the union. I'm a member of a local union which represents aerospace engineers, and we are part of the larger international union IFPTE, which originally was for shipyard engineers and draftsmen. Sorry for the acronym soup, but thought I'd give some context about the labor movement. You're totally right, though, that many unions, like most institutions, are currently headed by white men, which often results in some choices that aren't always aligned with the actual union membership. There is a push to make many unions more democratically representative of membership, but that's going to take some time. Linda. Thank you, Linda.
I 100% agree. And thank you. Thank you for educating everybody on that, because those are some things that I did not know.
Rhea says, hey, Karen and Raj, ROG. First of all, AI is the ghetto. Who the fuck is Rod Mulholland, and when did you and Karen Hunter get married? Does our Karen know about the marriage? Secondly, the voicemail left for the Mayor Brandon just made me cry. That's all I got. I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. Mr. Span says, Karen, my friend, my hairline has been an unfortunate circumstance since 1980.
Oh no.
On behalf of our receding and half moon hairline holders, we resent the implication that our hairlines lead to murder. I'm appalled, perplexed, vexed, and verklempt by your generalization. And I, Mr. Span, president of the Unfortunate Hairline Alliance, call on Karen Morrow, the Blackout Tips organization, to issue a full apology to all three of us. Thank you for your attention on this matter. Sincerely, Mr. Span, Unfortunate Hairline Alliance, Detroit chapter. It's the only chapter, but we're growing. I mean, you do own a lot of guns. So for a person that say they don't do murders, I don't know. So with all the guns. Karen, did you want to apologize?
No, no.
Okay, Karen just decided not to apologize, Mr. Span.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Span. I'm sorry for the loss of your hair. Like, it might be genetics. Like, I have nothing to do with that. But statistically, these what I'm saying are facts, and you can't go against facts.
Oh no! Fellow legal eagle, just Ani says, I think I pronounced it right. Ooh, this is a long one. Here we go. Hi, Rod and Karen. Just wanted to share a few seemingly disjointed but loosely related thoughts from a long-time listener but first-time emailer. First, major condolences, Rod, on the jury duty fake-out. I know that stung. As a fellow true crime and legal show addict, getting that summons is like getting a golden ticket only for Willy Wonka to say, actually, never mind, the tour's full. Agreed.
Not the tour's full.
I could have been deciding somebody's fate. I could have been the only means of justice for somebody. And look at me, home, eating pancakes. You're out there ready to nerd out, legally speaking, and drop some civically minded justice inspired by all these courtroom shows, and then bam, sent home as if you were a pallet on crack. Their loss. Your story got me thinking about my own descent into legal madness. I'm pretty sure I was patient zero for Trump adjacent trial derangement syndrome. It all started when I decided to prep for Trump's Georgia RICO case by watching the only other huge Fulton County RICO trial, the Young Thug trial. I know. What do slime and RICO charges have to do at 47? I thought they'd never ask. I figured watching Young Thug case was like a sneak peek at the DA's playbook. I was looking for a well-oiled machine, but instead I got a preview of how not to run a case. Picture this is late spring 2024. Trump has just been convicted in New York on those hush money charges. And I'm thinking, okay, the real fireworks are coming in Georgia with that election interference RICO case. Let's just say I got utterly obsessed with the Young Thug trial down in Fulton County because the same DA's office was handling the Trump mess. Rod, I know you didn't closely follow the Young Thug trial. Smart choice, honestly. It was an addicting, never-ending parade of the most unintentionally funny characters saying and doing the damnedest things on the witness stand. Yeah, I chose not to because it was such a content gold mine, and a lot of the blogs that were following it and were talking about it were blogs I don't respect that often present a lot of misinformation out there. And
I can see that, right?
Yeah, and honestly, it didn't give me a lot of hope for the Trump trial, not because I thought Fannie was gonna fuck it up or whatever. I know people disagree and think she fucked up, but whatever. I don't think the Fannie Willis thing was. I wasn't watching it because I was like, man, Fannie Willis is gonna fuck this trial up. I was just watching because I was like, every place I'm seeing information about it is like content. It's not legal analysis. They're not treating it seriously, and it's too funny for them to treat seriously. So I just stayed away from it. But I understood that people were getting a lot of entertainment from it. And they did lose the case, it seems, against at least Young Thug to some degree. So, maybe that was the canary in the coal mine.
Possibility.
I will stand on this point until the day I die. This marathon of misery that was masquerading as justice might have just been the most bonkers yet most consequential trial in modern history. For me, it was a sneak peek into the DA's tainted playbook that ended up tanking Trump's RICO trial. See, Fannie Willis, the Fulton County DA, had the guts to go after big fish and decide to swing for the fences with the RICO charges on not one, not two, but at least three sets of high-profile defendants, Young Thug and his crew, Trump and his election meddlers, plus other rappers in the county within the same year. She cast such a wide net that it started to look like an overreach. Well, what's interesting, and I think Fannie Willis would say this too, because like I said, I haven't followed the case closely, but a lot of these motherfuckers went to jail.
Yeah, they did. A lot of them did. They pleaded and everything, yes.
Yeah, and even with like Young Thug, I believe he pleaded and is currently on like super strict, super double secret probation. Like, I think it's because they didn't get a guilty conviction and him going to prison and blah, blah. Like they had to reach some level of compromise. Maybe that's why people see it as a failure, because I listened to some audio of her defending, herself and her office, and I found it to be compelling. I think it's only really like social media and content stakes that turn it into like all or nothing.
Yes.
And I don't know that this was similar in the Trump trial, because she essentially got put on trial because that dude that she was fucking. It wasn't because of the evidence being fucked up or not strong.
Agreed.
And then that, they basically dropped it when Trump got elected. It was like, well, there's no need. Now that we know this motherfucker's finna be president, there's no need to keep this up.
Right.
There's no punishment apparatus. So that's what I thought happened, but maybe I just got bad information on that. But
that's what it appeared to be to me, because the second Trump got in office, it was like, the fuck we doing this for?
Yeah, and like, I get in the ways of knowing that the Trump people will constantly be looking for a distraction because their client is guilty. I guess you can say she should have expected that they would even find out that she used to fuck this dude. But to me, I'm like, I actually don't find that to be the big joker that people think it is. I bet that kind of shit happens all the time, and it's just not a problem. No one's thought about it. Like, no one's got the lawyers to put that kind of shit on as part of the trial, or even think that people would care. And ultimately, I believe she was like reprimanded for it, but not thrown out the case or had the case dismissed for it. Like, it was dismissed for other shit, but I could be wrong. I didn't follow that close. The DA's office was having explained why they were going so hard against Rapper, while having little evidence to use against him other than their own First Amendment protected lyrics. I mean, what's a little drive-by banter amongst rival gang members? I digress. They should have laser focused on Trump. The smoking gun evidence in his election interference case was undeniable. Those motherfuckers fumbled being able to present the court infamous phone call where 45 was begging GA's Secretary of State to find 11,780 votes. That's not subtle. That's like robbing a bank while yelling your full name and social security number in the security camera. But nope, they got bogged down, juggling all the cases and spread their resources too thin to be effective. Yeah, if you say so. I didn't follow that close, so I'll just take your word for it. But I also do remember a big part of her thing was turning these people underneath Trump into, people that would testify against Trump.
And a lot of them did.
And it seemed like that was working.
Yeah, a lot of them went to jail and still in jail.
It feels like to me, Monday morning quarterbacking, like once this shit became about her fucking that dude and all that stuff, it just felt like people turned on the whole thing. People thought she was the shit, and then the second that she didn't get the stellar results of 100% convictions, everyone going to prison, it was like, she don't know what she's doing. And maybe that's true, but I just didn't get that vibe. They did too much. Folks started whispering if they're overreaching with Young Thug, maybe they're doing the same with Trump. It turns the whole thing into a circus, not the fun kind of clowns. Speaking of clowns, that's where the hilarity kicked in with the Young Thug trial. I didn't watch the whole slog, just turned in faithfully from June post NY conviction into Halloween. That's a long time. When Thug finally pled out, we're talking witnesses snitching in the rise, lawyers fumbling like they're in a bad improv class, and the one dude on the stand literally rapping his testimony. It was the funniest and the same time saddest courtroom saga ever considering the outcome. Every time Trump shows his rump, I think to myself, if Fani Willis had just stepped aside with the style tactics hit, resigned with humility after nailing the indictment, she could have bowed out a hero, and maybe we'd even seen Trump face real heat in Georgia. Well, I think there's another thing you're missing here. What about the people that did get convictions against him that are having them thrown out right now? Letitia James got him convicted. The civil penalty was just thrown out. I think you guys are underestimating how big this Trump shit is as far as him being immune to the penalties. He was on trial in several places by several different people. He was stalling in each of them, but he was convicted in a couple. He was convicted in the civil lawsuit with the sexual assault stuff or sexual harassment. I forget the exact term.
Convicted in one in New York.
Yeah. And then the justice system decided he was above that. The companies with resources like CBS paid him off and said, fuck it, we'll just take the L. We will not go to trial and defend our First Amendment rights for our people that work here. I think it's just much, much bigger than Fani Willis. And I just think that's the place we've obsessed with, turning it into like, she fucked this up, as opposed to like, this man got off in every single capacity that there's ability to get off. And Fani Willis's conviction or lack thereof, I don't think changes a single thing. I would have liked to live in a world where it would, but I don't think her stepping down, I don't think any of this changes shit. Because if they had a case like that and they were going to hold him accountable, I don't think her being the person is the thing that stops it. I really don't. I think then she steps down, another person takes it up, and then we go, okay, yeah, so he got convicted because he did it. But that's not what happened. They went, no, we don't need to look into this anymore. It's fine. He's president now. But that's my, maybe I'm being cynical. Let's see. For context, the DA's office was put on the defensive when DA Willis had to explain why the session prosecutor had her saved in his phone as Gorilla Grip. I remember that. Q's Karen's, oh no. Yeah, that Gorilla Grip was hilarious. Months were wasted with her trying to defend her personal life. She ended up forgetting the real defendant on trial was democracy itself. I guess you can say that. Yeah, I don't know that I would apply that to her. I think she stayed on point.
I do too.
I mean, it was a waste of time, and that was the point of making her defend herself. But I don't think she ever stopped focusing on Trump. I don't think she ever, even when she was there on the trial, she was like, this is not about me. This is about Trump. It's just, we have decided that it was not any longer.
Yeah, and also Trump's defense whole thing, and it worked. They just throwing shit at the wall to see what would stick.
He did it to everybody.
Right, and this just happened to stick.
And I mean, he did the same shit with Jack Smith. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know what to tell people, man. Like this, the way he's planted these seeds with these judges, the way that okay.
No, you making me think. I don't remember which case it was, but one of them bitches, they end up saying, hey, bitch, you're not doing your job. This is illegal. And she kept delaying.
Yeah, like, Jack Smith, the documents trial.
Right. And so it's like, what can you do against that? It don't matter what you do or what you say. If the judge is determined that you can't do shit, what can you do?
Yeah, I just think that the assumption is that justice would prevail. There's a way to get him. And I'm saying we have at least 4 to 5 examples and all had different results, but enough for us to know that justice was not on the table. Meaning the E. Jean Carroll one, he's convicted civilly. I can't remember civil or criminal. I think maybe civilly convicted. Okay. If a news organization does a report and says he's convicted, he sues them, the news organization goes, you right. Here's $10 million. Please leave us alone. We apologize. That's not justice.
No, that's not.
The fraud case that Letitia James won against him. She won that case, y'all. Okay, he's a 34 count convicted felon. She won the case. Judgment just the amount of the penalty just got thrown out. Okay, didn't stop him from being president either.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Jack Smith, delay tactics, stalls, delay tactics, no conviction there. And the only thing we got for that is why didn't Merrick Garland start it even faster?
Right.
Okay. There's always an excuse. There's always a reason that no one's going to step back and look at the big tapestry and go, this man was simply beyond justice because our system decided he was beyond justice whether he was convicted or not. And then of course Fannie Willis, which you just went over. That's how I'm looking at it from 1,000 feet away, not in the minutia of each case, but I think this man was above justice the entire time. Once he became president the first time, I think the amount of judges he installed and stuff and gummed up the legal works and the amount of understanding that he has now about how the system works, I just think he's beyond justice and he can basically do whatever the fuck he wants to do. Mm-hmm. And this was proof of it.
Yep. And the populace allowed it. They allowed it by
voting him back in.
Yeah, voting him back in.
Anyway, and I think by concentrating on shit like this, it's Jack Smith's fault. I don't know, man. Motherfucker went 2 for 4 in these trials and faced basically 0 real penalties. Probably richer than he's ever been in his life. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm too cynical. But hindsight is 2020, but man, does it sting. Woo, forget an epic rant. I'm totally TATDSing all over again. Just typing this. All that to say, Rod, I get your juror envy. Nothing beats front row seat to justice. Hey, Karen, is Rod's better half and the voice of reason on the show. I'm curious, do you dig legal drama too, or have you ever gotten hooked on a wild trial before?
Not in a very, very long time. Yeah. Like it's literally been years since I've actually sat down and watched a lot of those trials. Maybe it's just me. I'm like, let the legal system go through its process, and I'm here for the verdict most of the time.
Yeah. If that type of thing interests you both, maybe y'all could do a recurring segment, Courtroom Comedy Gold. COVID caused a bunch of courts to embrace putting their trials on YouTube. The trials are goldmine of Zoom fails, accidental unmutes, and witnesses spilling secrets at mid-cat filter. with materials like the Young Thug saga. You'd have listeners cracking up for days. Keep tipping strong. You too, just Ani. Thank you, Ani. I don't think I want to get into it just because I'm not a legal eagle. Like, I don't know enough stuff like that. And then also, like I said, I don't want to get bogged into this thing because I think part of the fallacy of these trials is that we buy into the system of like guilty people be guilty, innocent people be innocent, and that's not just how people play the case. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would do that, but occasionally we do have videos that go viral or something where we talk about like, oh, did you see this dude who couldn't get the cat filter off or whatever? But I don't think I would make a whole segment out of it. All right, last thing, no voicemails, but we did get something in the physical mail this week. Yeah, I got the notification like you got a package. Our mailing address, of course, is theblackouttips.com/about. You can just go in there and check the mail or mail us stuff and whatnot. We also have an Amazon wish list. We get stuff in the mail from that. This one's from Miss Barnes, I believe. Let me see. She taped a letter to it in the envelope. Open up this. I think it's a card. Open up this thing real quick. Oh, My Hero Academia. What's going on with this? It's a My Hero Academia card. Ooh. And outside it says, "Thank you, Miss Barnes." And inside it has a typed letter. Shout out to saying, I'm not going to let it be ambiguous or cursive. We appreciate you. Good morning, Rod and Karen. I'll let you decide if you want to say this for feedback, show, or the nerd off. Hope I was well in the Rod, Mulholland, Karen Hunter universe. I figured that I would give you a break from my homemade cursive writing and type out this letter. I was too excited that you and Karen finally saw Predator Killers and gave you a review. Not to spoil anything, but that ending scene had a recent new ending added, and I really was not ready for it. I cannot wait for Predator Badlands when it comes out later this year. Agreed. Since I had saw Killers, I decided I was going to go down the rabbit hole of the Predator franchise and discovered that these graphic novels have been out since the late 80s. I also discovered that in addition to the individual titles by Dark Horse Comics, there have been a lot of crossovers such as Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Terminator, even Archie. Yes, the Predator kicked it in Riverdale. So while I'm on the hunt for these collections and crossovers, I was at GalaxyCon and freaked out when I saw the following crossover, and I'm gifting you and Karen with it. I know it's not the usual format you're used to, but I'm the biggest believer in always having a number one. Thanks for allowing our nerd freak flag to fly freely. Take care, Miss Barnes. Thank you, Miss Barnes.
Thank you.
And let me see what's in this bag then. Try not to pull out my letter opener so I don't cut through or rip some pages or some shit.
Right.
Okay, I think that got it. Okay, and there's some more tape here. Okay.
They won't be sure that thing was.
It's a cool little tote bag.
Oh, ooh, I like that bag.
And inside is Predator versus Black Panther. What?
Ooh, I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't know they did this, and it's a number one too. Oh, thank you.
Oh shit, number one.
Now, here's the only problem with this. I read my comic books, so I will be taking this shit out the plastic to read it. So
devaluing the hell out of it.
And I've always been that way.
Yes, you have.
Like, I've never been a collector. Now, I'll put it back in the plastic and put it on my shelf when I'm done reading it, but I'm going to physically read this, which I hope doesn't ruin the value too badly. But yeah, I can't help it. I read my books. Shout out to my nerds that got the discipline to buy 2 copies or not read it at all or whatever the fuck. But that's not why I got in this game. Okay, your boy got in the game to be tactile with it. Okay,
yeah, he did boxes and boxes of comics in his parents' attic.
All right, y'all. That's it. Thanks for listening. We'll be back. I know Tuesday we have Kevin on stage for what?
I said that should be fun.
Yeah. Kevin on stage is coming. And like I said, throughout the week, we do shows as we can get to them with our schedule. So, all right, y'all. Thanks for listening. And thank you, Miss Barnes, for this comic book. This is very nice. What a dope gift. So yeah, until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody.